G'day and welcome to this video in a series of instructional videos for Home Away from Home Caravan Hire. This video is just outlining the equipment that sits within the front tunnel boots on either side of the van. Just stuff that's provided to make your trip easy and just for your own convenience. So here on the entry side of the van, we've got this tunnel boot here, and inside that tunnel boot we've got a broom, a mop, a rake, the barbecue trolley, the muck mat that's usually rolled up, and a little bottle jack and a couple of rolls of duct tape that live in that little box. There's also strapped along just underneath here PVC container that's got tubes that get used to support the awning. You've got the curved rafters and the telescopic support poles in there. You just slide them in, pop the cap back on when you're done, and pop the pin back through and lock it off with the locking pin, making sure it's all secure. So that's this side of the van. Around the other side of the van, another tunnel boot just here. This one's open. So normally in this side we keep the water hose. So there's two 10-meter lengths of water grade hose there with fittings, including supplied tap nut. Please remember to take that off the tap when you take the hose off when you leave camp, and just chuck it back in the bag. We typically have a spare or a couple of spares in there, but we seem to go through them at a reasonable rate. Then we've also got the Sullage hose, which I'll shoot another video on the connection of this, but one end of the Sullage hose has a thread on it, and the thread winds into the thread on the end of this little manifold, which is what we use to connect it to the van. So I'll show you the connection of that, setup of that, and explain it in another video. We also provide two 20-meter 15 amp power cords, which plug in the side of the van. There's one just plugged in down there right now. They've got these, we've got these stabiliser pads. They can be put down underneath the stabiliser legs if you're on soft ground. I'm just using a brick there at the moment because I'm at home, but we send those out with the van. And also lives in that front tunnel boot is the ramps. So I'll put together a separate video for leveling the van, but in essence the ramps are just these two grey triangular units and the two green wedges, and you get the van set up level by backing it up or forward onto these wedges and locking it in place before you drop the stabiliser legs. So that's typically it for the stuff that's stored in the front section of the van. If you've asked us to provide the optional barbecue, that'll be in there. If you've asked us to provide the optional bike rack, which generally fits on here, some bits and pieces for that may be in this front storage as well. So just take a look at the front storage when you first open it. Just assess how everything's been packed in. It'd be great if it could go back in the same way, because it will all fit, and then that way on a quick look we can see that it's all there and accounted for, and that there's nothing missing for the next hire. The last point of note is these tunnel boot hinges are a little bit fragile. You can see this one's intact and this one's had a blowout. And what happens is, if the door is closed like so, and you open it and you just let it drop, and I'm going to catch it, but I'll tell you what I mean. If you just let it drop like that, it bangs back on the caravan and it puts a lot of pressure. On these hinges, and it blows them out. If you do happen to drop it and break a hinge, there's a little bit of a process involved in refitting them, and unfortunately it's probably not something you're going to want to attempt to do while you're on the road. So in that case, it's probably going to be a repair job. You might have to go and see the local caravan shop. It's unlikely to be a problem on your trip, but particularly if when you open it, you just guide it down with your hand so that it's not smashing at the bottom end and putting excess pressure on those hinges. It'll just ensure they'll last a little bit longer, and certainly last through your trip if you're a little bit careful with that. Very much. I hope that was informative. If you need any further information on any of the gear that's stored in the front of the van here, or any other aspect of the van, feel free to leave us a comment or shoot us a message, and happy to help you out.